Hey folks, what's up? ET. So I got another slab here, and I shot a video earlier. I was trying to make a Clovis out of a slab of just like this, only it was Georgetown, and I was so exhausted, and I mean, it made a point, but it didn't not what I intended or any of that stuff. So we're gonna work on making a little point here. I got a couple hours sleep, so I feel a little bit better, and I'm just sitting here in the motel doing nothing, so I thought, well, I'll nap something. And I'm wanting to make this one, but into Clovis, but I'll have to wait and see. Might actually do that in the morning before we take off, maybe, or something, I don't know. But I done ground the edge of this. I'm just gonna run through it and okay. Let's do the other side. I try not to overshoot these on the tip because it rounds it off, and you want a square edge on here, and if it rounds off, it's harder to get a bite on it. Run some up from the bottom. I always do my bottom flakes last. I've mentioned that before. Just seems like it's a little cleaner. All right, face is all cleared, and we're gonna sharpen this a little bit. And then we're going to zigzag this thing off. I told you guys I don't normally nap them like this, and trying to kind of get a feel on these things, how much is left of them after you nap them this way, because you lose quite a bit when you're zigzagging the edge. It is hot outside today. Good night. And you're in this soul-sucking city, and concrete and asphalt everywhere, and it gets hot. And it don't cool off at night either. So it says it's 100 degrees outside, but it feels like 120. Rolled into Needles one night, my wife and I and the kids, and we were heading out to California from Oklahoma. And one of our stops is always in Needles when we're going out there, and I think it was 1 in the morning, midnight, 1, 2 in the morning, something like that when we rolled in, and I think it was still 100 and how hot was it? Was it 120 or 115? Something like that. Yeah, unbelievable. It was actually probably the hottest weather I've ever been in, and it was like 2 in the morning. And people actually choose to live there. I know. If some of you guys are there, you're going to be like, oh, it's a dry heat. Yeah, well, it's still heat. This is Novaculite. Did I mention that? Not sure if I did or not. Not sure what I'm going to make. I was actually thinking about making a Cahokia style point. Even with all the zigzagging, probably still turn out bigger than the casts I got. The casts I got are pretty small. If we end up making that, we'll look at some of the casts I got and show you guys those, because the Cahokias were tiny and incredibly thin. At least the ones that came out of the Cahokia mountains were. And there's pictures actually on the let me grab it. I want to show you this. Okay, so if you can see this right here, that's how they were actually found in the mound. That's how they were buried, just like that. They were cached just like that. And this is one of them right here. And I mean, you can compare that. Hopefully you guys can see that. That's how they were all found right there. And this is how small they are. I mean, they're just tiny and incredibly thin. I don't even know. I mean, that's not paper thin, but it's about half the thickness or less than a, I don't know what. I don't know, but they're super, super delicate. And this was out of the Mound 72 site. Let me back this up a second, and then you can pause your TV and read this if you want. Okay, you should be able to read that. Pause it and read that information if you want. All right. I would have loved to have been on that digging crew. That would have been something special right there. I'd like to go do any dig. They got some digs down here in Texas, and we're gonna go do that this fall, hopefully. I would love to go do that. I'd really love to go run some creeks in Tennessee or Kentucky or something like that. But I don't really know anyone out there that does much of that stuff, I guess. I mean, I know a few people, but you know, people not going to take you where they go find their stuff. So I understand that, and I wouldn't even ask. That's like saying, yeah, take me to your best hunting spot that's got 10 points running all over the place. There's just some things you just don't ask for. I guess that would be one of them. We might be that small by the time we're done. You never know. By the time we make probably 2 more passes, something like that. I don't even have it down to how many passes it takes because, you know, you guys know I don't nap like this normally, so. Just turning this edge a little bit more towards the other side. It's getting hot in here. Yeah, I don't even know how I made it through that other point to make anything, to be honest with you. I was so exhausted. This wasn't a great big preform, so not very big at all. We can go with the shorter issue stick. Let's try that. See how that works out. Thought about it. I got a little bitty boat, a little bitty skiff. I don't know how many feet it is. It might be, yeah, I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. It's got a little, it's got a 40 or 45 horse on the back. Center console, little aluminum boat, and I thought taking that out to Tennessee or somewhere and throwing that in the river and running up the river and looking for some places to, some tributaries and stuff to hunt some arrowheads in or whatever, find some flint. Just spent a week out there. I'd really like my son to go with me, but I don't think he can get away from work that long, so. Which I understand. in. Yeah, those Cahokias are just paper thin. I probably need fix me a pad that's got just a crazy narrow slot on it for doing ones like that. Make another pass down this side. I'm going to start the tip. Somewhere. Let's see. That needs to come off this other side. I might step down to hand flaker here. I'm pretty sure this was a 1/4 inch slab or thereabouts. It wasn't a thicker 5/16. So brightness. The lighting really isn't that great in here. I noticed on that video, you'll see on this one, or if I release that other one, the other one's an hour and a half long, and it's basically a lot of struggle bus going on there. Not really. It just I was having trouble. When you're tired like that, you're not thinking straight, and I just didn't have enough convexity built into the one side. I should have took another pass of flakes, and so the one side fluted. I got all the way around the whole thing. Had all my flaking. I was getting ready to do the fluting, and then I was just going to finish the edge and be done. And I did the one side, and it fluted fine, probably an inch and a half or inch and 3/4 up the piece, something like that, plenty far. And I flipped it over, and I couldn't get a flake to go. And after looking at it later, this side had good convexity to it this way, right? This side was still really flat, and it just didn't want to flute. I think was the biggest problem, because I didn't have my convexity right. I was too tired for that to compute at the time, so. Now there's some in the Cahokia mounds that are just exactly like this. They're just triangles. And that's a style of Cahokia also. I like the 3-notch. Is the one I kind of like. Okay, we're gonna notch it. I think I'm gonna use this horseshoe now. Wish I could see that a little better. Let's see, I should try to mark this with a pencil. You guys know how I do with symmetry. I just more or less don't. I try to, but I struggle with it. I was talking to Robert yesterday, and I won't say his last name on here, but you guys all gonna know who I'm talking about, though. He's a pretty incredible fog napper. I just broke that notch out, didn't I? A little bit. I like it so far. Alright, sounds like I'm gonna have to pause this video. I'll have to piece the pieces together. Gotta go down, we got some stuff being delivered, so I'm not sure 6 months is enough time to finish the edge. I can't hardly believe this thing stayed going. It usually shuts off before now. And then I have to piece stuff together. It stayed going. It's funny when you're making these videos, I guess it's like that in anything in life, right? Your mood and all that stuff kind of changes how things are, how well things come out, how much you talk. And I've never done very good with sleep deprivation. I was so worried about it was an important thing my wife had to be at today, and I was so worried about oversleeping that I just more or less couldn't sleep at all, and I was hurting like crazy. I actually haven't hurt that bad in a long time, but my back and my carpal tunnel has just been killing me. I actually probably only have about, I would think, 60% use of this hand now, my left hand. So that is something I'm going to have to address and have fixed. And it's needed fixed for years, but I just never have. But I'm just going to bite the bullet and go have that done. My doctor did tell me they can do it laparoscopically now, and not down very long at all. So he talked about going to work like the next day or something, but you know, there's a difference between being a doctor and handling a stethoscope and holding tooling, leather tooling stuff, and working on rock and things like that. So a little difference there. But you know, maybe he's right. I don't know. He's usually the smartest guy in the room when he walks in the room, I would think. He's a pretty smart guy. I don't say that just because he's a doctor. I really do think he's kind of that smart and a good guy too. I mean, he really is a good guy. I enjoy him. Dr. West. He watches some of my videos, I guess. Okay, well. It's a pretty point, I think. Pretty little Novaculite. Look at that, I broke that little corner off. Doggone it, how did I manage that? No matter what I do, that's still going to be a little bit. Alright, there we go. That'd make a great hunting point too. I mean, that's perfect size. Nice and pointy. That's perfect to strap to an arrow. In fact, we might do that. I might put this one away, and this fall I am going to hopefully be able to get someone that can run I don't have a camcorder. I used to have some back when HD just first became a deal, you know. My dad and I had bought some they were pretty high end at the time, camcorders that were all HD and digital and all that stuff, and they were pretty nice. Of course, they're pretty low tech now, but probably, I'm sure that was years ago. But I do have a DSLR camera that I can record film with and stuff, and maybe I'll if I can find someone to film me. I want to go shoot some hogs, or at least a hog, with a stone point, and that might be it right there. That's beautiful. I mean, I don't care who you are, that's beautiful. Let me see here. I had something I want to show you. Hold on. Okay, here's another one. This is actually the largest of the Cahokias that I have, I think. Out of all of them, this is physically the largest one that are from that mound. It's paper thin. I mean paper thin. It's much thinner than ours, obviously. So you can see that. Much thinner. Size-wise, almost the same. But I would have no problem going and shooting this through a hog or a deer or anything else. But obviously if it was thinner like this, it'd be even better. But I like it. So I appreciate y'all watching. We'll catch you on the next one. And if you suffered through that last hour and a half long debacle, I appreciate that too. But maybe we'll nap this. It's already like almost 8 o'clock, so I don't know if I'll nap it. I might nap another small one like this here or something like that, maybe, or I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. But appreciate y'all watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Keep napping.